Welcome to India Through Coins, where rare coins bring together art, history, culture, religious philosophies, geography, all under the umbrella of numbers. What we have today is a beautifully stuck coin from Tibet. This is a one Tanga coin from the Ga-den Palace category. So these coins were quite popular between 1880 to early 1950s. There are also evidences of these coins being used in some parts of India because there was a lot of exchange between Tibet and India of that time. In fact, Indian rupees were quite popular in Tibet, and it weighs about 4.1 grams. So, going by the weight, I can guess that this was stuck somewhere around 1940 because the same category of coins made around 1910 weighed a little more. It's about 27 in diameter. If one had this coin in 1910 or 1915, they could get 1 or 2 days worth of groceries with this. So, yeah, it carried quite a bit of weight at that time, or even today to say. So, the front of this coin is quite beautifully detailed. So, I see a lotus flower with 8 petals, and then which leads the center of the flower leads to the 8 petals where you have the letters in Tibetan language. It reads Gandong Palace, victorious in all directions. And of course, I can't read that. I translated it. I found the translation online. Uh, so, yeah, the importance of the design here, or the theme of the design here, is lotus and the number 8. It is made to look like the Dharma Chakra, which is also a 8-spoked wheel. So the spokes on the Dharma Chakra, I can go on for them, but they basically stand for wisdom, which is prajna. Then they stand for good behavior, and then good speech, suvacha, and then good livelihood, basically ethical conduct of life, and then mental and physical discipline. So there's a theme behind the 8 different quadrants of these the 8 petal lotus design. Now, if I turn the coin back, I see a blooming lotus, which again is very significant because it is supposed to symbolize how people, despite the difficulties or the situation they are in, can actually cleanse their mind, body, and soul and bloom like a lotus flower which rises from the mud or slush. This lotus flower again has 8 petals, and then these 8 petals have ashtamangalas in them. Anyone in India would recognize these symbols because they have a relationship between the ashtamangalas that we believe in. So, before getting on to ashtamangalas, the number 8 is very important in Vedic and Buddhist traditions. In Vedic, you have the Ashtavasus, or the 8 elements which govern the earth, and then there is the Ashtalakshmi, the 8 forms of wealth. Ashtamangala is a shared belief between Hinduism and Buddhism. So, what you see is the parasol or the chhatra first. So, a chhatra, it's there to protect the one underneath it from evil or harm. Then there is a petal with 2 fishes on it, and they seem to be flowing against the flow of water. So they are also called Swarna Matsya. So what they indicate is a person's will or desire to do the right thing despite being in a difficult circumstance. Then you have the treasure vase or the kalasha, which I think is a container that grants people what they want. Basically, it never runs empty, and it basically provides one with all the basic necessities they would need. And then there is a lotus flower itself, which blooms, like I said, from the mud, which rises up from the dirt and mud. And then there is a shell turning right, swirling right, and the sound of which is supposed to awaken people and their souls. Then there is a endless knot. I don't recall the Sanskrit name for it, but it is nothing but an indication of the things that are interrelated in our life, and basically it guides one to be more compassionate and use their wisdom in dealing with things rather than judge things very quickly. And then there's a victory banner, which I think we all know. It's the Vijay Dwaj. This is not just a coin, it is a philosophy in itself. And I can go on decoding this and each and every symbol on it, but I think that will probably take a lot of time. It's a complete map on how a person can liberate oneself from the cycle of life, that is. Long after empires are gone, these small metal relics continue to talk to us, and they take us on a journey, on a very fascinating journey to the past. Now with this, thank you for exploring history with me. If you have enjoyed, I have a small video for you to watch at the end. Let me know about your thoughts in the comment section. Until next time, bye.
You've seen these symbols before, but do you know what they really mean? The parasol, or chhatra, protection from suffering. The golden fish, matsya, freedom and fearlessness. The treasure vase, kalasha, endless spiritual wealth. The lotus flower, padma, purity rising from the mud. The conch shell, shankha, the sound of awakening truth. The endless knot, shrivatsa, wisdom and compassion intertwined. The victory banner, dvaya, triumph of knowledge over ignorance. And the dharma wheel, dharma chakra, the path that leads to enlightenment. Together, these 8 sacred symbols, the Ashtamangala, remind us the journey to peace begins within.